Great. It looks like people are joining. Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for the third Weatherization Wednesday of this year's Button Up campaign. I'll definitely give it a minute or so for more people to join us, but then we'll go ahead and get started. And as you are joining, if you would put in the chat where in the state you're tuning in from and what brought you here today. Welcome from Wilmington. Great, we got people from all over the state. Welcome, everyone. It looks like we're now live on Facebook too. We have a good number of people, so I think we can go ahead and get started. Great, so welcome again. Thank you all for being here and taking an hour out of your Wednesday afternoon. Just so you know, we are recording this session and it will be posted on our YouTube after. So if you want to rewatch it or share it with someone who wasn't able to join us today, you can do that. In today's Weatherization Wednesday, we'll be talking about financing your project. I know this is a topic that is of interest to many people who know that the upfront cost of can often be really high. So excited to talk about that today. My name is Becca Custer. I'm a community engagement manager with Efficiency Vermont. I'm really lucky to be joined by our presenters today, my colleague Robin King of Efficiency Vermont and Lisa Lasanti of VSECU. They'll give a presentation about a financing option available to help you afford your weatherization or energy efficiency project. And then we'll have plenty of time for your questions after that. If you do have questions that come up during their presentation, feel free to put those in the Q&A here if you're joining us on Zoom or in the comments if you're joining us on Facebook. And we'll do our best to get to as many of them as possible. Before I do hand it over to Robin to kick it off, I do want to mention that we are randomly selecting one of you attendees today for a $50 gift card to a local hardware store. We'll do that drawing after the webinar, but be on the lookout for an email from us if you are that lucky winner. Okay, with that, thanks so much, Robin and Lisa, for being here, and I will let Robin take it away.
Thank you, Becca, and thanks for everyone for joining today. I'm also very grateful to be here with Lisa, who is one of our great partners at Efficiency Vermont, who helps administer our home energy loan. We couldn't do it without our partners, so I'm looking forward to talking today more about financing your project, and we'll just dive right in. So firstly, I will be giving an overview of the home energy loan. After I give my overview, I'll be turning it over to Lisa to talk about the VGREEN Clean Energy Finance Program at VSECU. So the home energy loan is an Efficiency Vermont sponsored program to provide low-cost loans to Vermont households who are interested in energy efficiency projects. Later in the presentation, I'll be detailing exactly what those projects are, so just stay tuned for more details. Efficiency Vermont partners, which are lenders and contractors, help households who are interested in the home energy loan navigate this program. So the lenders that are a part of our program are VSECU, Opportunities Credit Union, and NeighborWorks of Western Vermont. The loan terms are up to 15 years. Moderate and low-income Vermont households can access the loan at a 0% interest rate up to 5 years. The loan maximum, so the maximum amount that you can take out under the home energy loan is $20,000. And it's important to note that 50% of the loan can be used on health and safety upgrades that are related to efficiency projects. So here on screen, you'll see a little bit more detail about the interest rates. So you can see that generally speaking, below 60,000, you can expect to have a 0% loan if the loan term is 5 years or less. And then the loan rates increase between $60,001 and $90,000. It's 0% up to 5 years, and then the loan rates increase thereafter. And then over $90,000, the loan starts at 4.99%. But it is important to note that the lenders are the ones who will be helping you determine what your household income is and exactly what rate you're eligible for. So while we have these kind of barometers or thresholds that we know on the website, our lender partners really help households walk through all the documentation needed and any screening that would happen on the back end in order to determine your rate. So these are our general rules of thumb. The program works in this general format. So the first thing that anyone can do is identify your project. So making sure that you're thinking about projects that are eligible. They're all listed on our website, but cold climate heat pumps or weatherization, appliance projects, whatever you might be interested in. It's good to just kind of think about what you're interested in pursuing. Once you are interested, we have our Find a Pro tool on our website where you can select an EEN contractor, that stands for Efficiency Excellence Network contractor. They will come and scope your project. I will note that this is for all projects except for appliance projects and also solar hot water. They do not require an Efficiency Excellence Network to participate. Once you have your project scope, you would submit the paperwork to the lender that you choose for the home energy loan. And again, that would be VSECU, Opportunities Credit Union, or NeighborWorks of Western Vermont. The lender would work with you to review that household and project information that you submit to them. Once that project information is reviewed and the lender does their magic, the loan would close. And then once the loan closes, the lender would serve and disperse payment under your loan. And Lisa will be going into more detail about how that works, but this is just a general overview. So the details on what projects are typically eligible fall into 4 different categories: space heating, water heating, weatherization, and appliances. The type of space heating projects that are eligible, and this is, I'm only going to detail on this topic because it has multiple different categories that you can pursue under this category, is ductless heat pumps, ducted heat pumps, air to water heat pumps, ground source heat pumps, wood pellet boilers and furnaces, and pellet and cordwood stoves. I'll pause here just to note that if you're a Vermont gas system customer, you would not be eligible to participate in the home energy loan for both weatherization, air to water heat pumps, and also any wood heating. But Vermont Gas Systems does have a affordable loan option for different project types. I believe we're going to paste in the chat where if you're a Vermont Gas Systems customer, you can explore those options. But just wanted to note that here. Also, Burlington Electric Department customers are eligible to participate in the home energy loan without restriction. So if you are a Burlington Electric Department customer, you can participate in the home energy loan for any of these project types. Just some things to keep in mind if you're interested in the home energy loan is that 50% of the total loan amount can be used on health and safety upgrades. What we see most typically is this usually includes things like drainage work, it can include vermiculite remediation, electrical panel upgrades, but the health and safety work must be related to the energy efficiency project. So for example, if I'm a homeowner and I know that my electrical systems may need some improvement, unless those electrical upgrades are related to either cold climate heat pumps or a weatherization project, it's not necessarily eligible as a standalone project. It really must be tied to the efficiency project that you're undertaking. This is really only to be used on owner-occupied residential structures. So if you are looking to use a home energy loan for a standalone rental property, this is not necessarily the opportunity for you. The work that you're undertaking must meet the standards that are outlined on our project verification form, which is linked here, and we can provide that link in the chat as well, just so you can take a look and review the standards that we ask you to meet. The homeowner must be the one who applies for the home energy loan. This is an integral part of the home energy loan structure. Gut rehabilitations are not eligible for the home energy loan, primarily because a lot of the time the work is more invasive than a typical weatherization or heating system replacement project. But if that is of interest to you, we can dig into the details on what that exactly means. Second homes actually are eligible for the home energy loan so long as they're not rented for more than 15 days per year. And also, probably most importantly, lending partners will absolutely work with you to determine your household income and will also help you walk through the documentation or other steps that are needed to review your loan application. So while we have kind of the standards and different things on our website that talk to kind of the structure of the program and what you'll need, it's really our excellent lending partners who are working with you throughout the process and the program to help you understand your opportunities. Just to note, we do have other financing programs available at Efficiency Vermont. The first is our business energy loan program. So this is primarily for business projects, commercial projects, but could also be used in different circumstances. So if you do have a small business or you're interested in taking on an efficiency upgrade, definitely worth checking out the business energy loan. And then I just wanted to note, we also do have an upcoming program which we are launching in partnership with the Vermont Housing and Finance Agency, local utilities, and other EEUs, so BED and VGS, Burlington Electric Department, and Vermont Gas Systems. This would be a financing product for eligible authorization projects, which would be charged via a monthly charge on the electricity bill. I will say that there's more information on this coming soon, so stay tuned for more details on this program, and we are very thankful to the Vermont Housing and Finance Agency for making this available. Here are some resources that are available on our website. We can send out the links to these in the chat as well. And I just wanted to note one of the resources that I have on the screen, which is the Efficiency Vermont Home Energy Loan Cheat Sheet, helps you determine essentially different project costs and if you are at a different household income, what those costs per month may look like for you. So this is a really valuable resource if you're interested in just kind of getting a sense for what your monthly costs might be. If you do take on a home energy loan, it's a really nice tool to help kind of scope out what might make sense for you. Here is some lender contact information. Again, I'm happy to send this along, but there are ways to contact our lenders if you're interested again in pursuing the home energy loan. And I will turn it over to Lisa. And Lisa, just let me know when you want me to advance your slides.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lisa Lasanti. I work with VSECU. I am currently the Senior VGREEN Program Associate. My supervisor, Lori Fielder, is the VGREEN Program Director. She's actually been with VSECU for 9 years and pretty much is the creator of this program. I've been working in this program for 8 years and I absolutely love it. Our department has recently taken on a third employee. Renee Deschamps is a VGREEN Program Associate, deals with funding the loans, booking the loans. So any type of loan, you'd more than likely be talking with Renee, and you can go ahead. And with VSECU, our VGREEN program is not just a loan program that we look at for interest income. It is literally in our mission to do this type of work. We're very committed to it. We work with many partners throughout Vermont and through New England, like NESEA, Efficiency Vermont, Green Mountain Power, Burlington Electric. We work with everybody that we possibly can find to help our members and Vermont residents or employees to be able to become more energy efficient and self-sufficient. We actually go as far as to do bikes and e-bikes. So we have many bike companies that we also do loans for. You can advance. And the way that we have chosen to fund our loan program is through an account that we call our VGREEN Money Market account. And what this does is the money that people put on deposit is used to fund our energy, renewable energy and energy efficiency products. So it's our way of recirculating our members' money to help keep rates lower. And if anybody's interested, we have recently raised the money market rates. And next. So this loan is our very basic energy improvement loan. It is the most flexible VGREEN loan that we have. It can be used for pretty much any type of energy savings purchase or project. $300 to $40,000. It's an unsecured loan that can go from 2 years to 15 years. So it's very flexible to get the payment you need for your project. And it can be anything from, we do windows and doors, appliances, health and safety repairs ahead of weatherization, bicycles, pellet stoves, batteries, power storage, solar, weatherization, you name it. It can go into one of these loans. And Next. This is the one, the home energy loan that Robin just went through, much more thoroughly. But I just want to say that this is actually the loan that made me decide when I came here as a lender that I wanted to work in VGREEN. One of my very first customers took out this home energy loan, retired, living on Social Security. She called me up 6 months later, so appreciative because she was able to qualify for the 0%. She was able to get her furnace, and this was back in the years that fossil fuel furnaces were allowable through the program. But she was able to get that furnace at 0%, and what she saved over the winter on fuel almost made her full payment. So great program. I can't say enough about Efficiency Vermont and working with them on the home energy loan program. Again, Robin had given you the subsidized rates, the eligible products and projects that are able to finance in the program. And we can go to the next one. And this is just our comparison screenshot. We wanted to just show you the actual savings that a borrower can have by choosing and applying for and qualifying for the Efficiency Vermont home energy loan. So for instance, our 5-year personal loan rate is 9.9. So if you look at that, the monthly payment is $212 for 5 years. Our VGREEN rate is 5.15. So the monthly payment is $189. But then if you go over to the Efficiency Vermont home energy loan at 0%, it's down to $166. And the finance charge is substantially lower, from $2,700 to nothing. And the same thing if you go 10-year, 15-year. So it's definitely it's a tool just to be able to show people how much they can save by qualifying for the Efficiency Vermont program or the VGREEN loans. And we can go to next. Oh, next.
I think this is the next slide.
Oh, will it pop ahead slide?
Yes.
Oh, it's just popping you through. Okay, yeah, it's just popping you through each one.
Okay, great.
There we go. And VSECU also offers larger loans for larger projects. We use these for solar projects, deep energy retrofits, large weatherization projects. We do up to $60,000 unsecured. We have what's called an investment tax credit loan that takes the 30% investment tax credit into consideration when setting your payment right from the beginning. We do have to say that we are not the government. We can't state whether you qualify or don't qualify for the investment tax credit. However, at this point in time, it is a 30% tax credit on solar, geothermal, pellet boilers. So the investment tax credit loan, could be very beneficial for that. Or we have a 20-year unsecured loan with set monthly payments. So if you weren't sure whether you were going to get that investment tax credit or not, that's a great opportunity. And we also do energy equity loans up to $250,000 if you wanted to. And what those are home equity loans up to 90% loan to value. And if you're doing energy savings or renewable energy projects, we offer a 0.5% discount on those loans. And on all of these 3 loans, we offer to re-amortize or recalculate the remaining payment on the loan if you qualify for a tax credit or a rebate and make that pay down at any time during the loan. We'll do it multiple times on the unsecured and once for free on the energy equity. And next. These are just some of the other VGREEN loans that we offer here at VSECU. We offer discounted green vehicle loans. They're a 0.5% below our standard auto loan rates. We offer a full % off if you decide to buy an EV or a plug-in hybrid. We have business or commercial loans. Robin had spoke about the business energy loan with Efficiency Vermont. And we do also offer solar loans, fleet vehicle loans, weatherization loans for rental or commercial properties through our business commercial lending department. And we also have specific mortgages. Obviously, the energy equity loan, which was the home equity I discussed. We have an energy improvement mortgage, and we have an off-grid mortgage. We're one of the few places that will do a loan on an off-grid home, all at discounted rates. And I can also say with this, on average, VSECU does book 140 loans per month. We do over $2.5 million a month in our VGREEN program, and we're really proud of that. The number of houses and the number of properties that are being improved, it really makes you feel good. And to apply with VSECU, this is just a screenshot of our online application page. And so first you'd obviously work with the contractor, determine the right project, determine the purchase, determine the price or approximate price, and then you would go to the website and choose which loan fits best for you, whether you're installing solar, weatherizing your home. And when you click on one of these, it gives you a drop down of all the loans in VSECU that would work for your project. If you clicked on install heat pumps, the very first one that came up would be the home energy loan, then the regular energy improvement loan. And then basically you complete your project. We fund the loan when the vendor is ready to start the project and start the install. Then you would complete your project, file for all your incentives and rebates. If you got a rebate and wanted to make a principal pay down on the loan, you would be able to do that, and we could re-amortize your loan and basically enjoy your savings. And I think we can go on to the next Q&A.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So Lisa and I work really closely together. In some points in our week, we may touch base almost every day. So I figured we could just kind of tee off some greater Q&A about this topic with some specific questions that I had for Lisa. So the first question is, what are some of the ways that someone can prepare if they're interested in the home energy loan?
So my recommendation would be meet with a contractor or the energy auditor for your initial consultation. Find out an estimate for the amount of money that you may need for the work to be completed. Be aware of your credit history, any issues that you may need to address. Once you have an idea of the cost of your project, complete an application. You can complete it online. If you're a member of VSECU, you can do it over the phone. And then work with your lender. They will help you determine the best loan, the best rate for your situation, for your project. And we don't need the exact amount up front when we are processing the application. We can adjust the loan amount once we receive the final quote and before we actually close the loan. And also, you don't have to be a member to apply. You can apply for the loan, and then once approved, one of the stipulations would be to become a member of VSECU.
Thank you so much. The next question is, what are the benefits of financing a project versus paying for it outright?
Well, financing allows you to keep emergency funds available. So for instance, to do a project now, we're going into winter. We have no idea what our fuel costs are going to be, where the inflation and grocery prices, everything is going out of this world. So it allows you to keep your emergency funds available if you need them down the road. It keeps you from being just tapped out to where, you know, my brakes on my car went and I can't get them fixed. You'd still have that backup. And also, most people do find it easier to adjust a monthly budget than to save the money to rebuild the savings after using it. It's just something in most people's minds that, okay, I have to make the payment, but if it's a choice of, oh, I can put it in the savings or I could do this, a lot of times people choose to continue to spend it. Also, if you qualify for the 0% rate, there's no cost to you. You're utilizing someone else's funds. Great reason to do it.
Thank you. So let's say that someone has been approved for a loan. What would happen after that?
Okay, so a loan approval is good for either 30, 60, or 90 days. And that depends on your credit history, debt ratio, unsecured ratios. We have it built into our system. Once the loan is approved, you work with your contractor to schedule your installation or the project that you're doing. Once you have a date, usually it's within a month, 45 days, we close the loan. We can close loans either electronically via DocuSign, or you can go into a local branch and sign in person. The funds are then dispersed, checks payable to the contractor as directed by you and on your quote. Some contractors request a 70% deposit, 30% upon completion. We have some that do 50-50. So depending on what your contractor requires, and how you'd like us to disperse it, whether you want us to send them the initial deposit check or just send both checks to you to hand out as you need to disperse funds.
Thank you so much. Can I pay my loan off early? Like if I closed on a loan and I decided I had the funds to buy it down, could I do that?
Yes, you can. There are no prepayment penalties on any of our consumer loans, so you can pay them off at any point in time with no fee.
Thank you. And last but not least, if I get a rebate after I close my loan, can I use my rebate to help pay my loan down?
Yes. Any rebates or other funds can be applied to your loan. You can either choose to, at that point, let the loan keep your payment the same and let your loan pay off early, or you can request that we re-amortize the loan to lower the monthly payment. And when we say re-amortize, what we mean is that we recalculate the remaining payments, and it's based on the principal balance after the principal pay down, the rate of the loan, whatever it was right from the very beginning, there's no change to the rate, and the remaining number of payments that you have left. So, sometimes it can bring the payment down quite substantially. We do have the guideline of looking for an initial principal payment of a minimum of $1,000, because usually $500, $250, it's not going to change your payment enough to do that. We would just do the principal pay down. Original loan amount of approximately $5,000 and a minimum payment amount of $50. So yes, you can definitely pay it down, and you have a couple options, and anyone in our lending department would work with you to help with how you decided you wanted to do that.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And I will note, this question is pretty specific, because how it typically works is someone may take out a loan ahead of their project obviously taking place, and then Efficiency Vermont incentives usually come 30 to 60 days after your project is fully finished and submitted to Efficiency Vermont, depending on the program that you're working under. So sometimes we find that people may take that rebate and use it on other things, but it may be a good idea if it feels comfortable to use that to your loan. So it's a good thing to think about, especially if you do have a home energy loan, because it could make a real impact. All right, and with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I think it is time for Q&A.
It is, and we are getting a lot of questions coming in, which is great. So I'll just kind of go through them. Actually, one question I will ask ahead of the others is just, we're getting a question, and if you have to join VSECU to access the home energy loan.
You would have to join the credit union. You don't have to join to apply. You can definitely apply. what you would get is a pre-approval contingent on becoming a member of the credit union. And to become a member of the credit union, you would open a share savings account with a minimum deposit of $25. That's your share of the credit union. That money remains yours, and then you qualify to get the loan through the credit union.
And just to piggyback off of what Lisa just noted, that is the process for VSECU. There are other home energy loan lenders, NeighborWorks of Western Vermont and Opportunities Credit Union, and certainly folks could reach out to those credit unions to understand, those lending partners to understand their requirements. So there are options, and VSECU is one of our very valued partners. So thank you for the explanation, Lisa.
We have another question coming in that asks, what if a homeowner has bad credit?
It depends. I can't speak for NeighborWorks or Opportunities, but from our viewpoint, we look at the full picture. We look at credit, reason for delinquency, what's the recent credit look like? Do you have a co? We look for ways to make the loan. We look for any mitigating factors that we can. We take into consideration the savings. If the debt ratio is tight, but we're seeing, okay, they have oil heat and they're putting in a pellet stove. They're going to save substantial money this winter. So we take all of that into consideration as we're making the approval decisions. And actually here the 5 lenders cannot actually decline a loan. To do a decline, it has to go through management review. So we go through a lot to try and approve what we can.
Great. Another question coming in, can one homeowner have more than one kind of loan? For example, an energy improvement loan for air sealing and other efficiency upgrades based on audit and a home energy loan for a new heating system.
Yes. VSECU will loan up to $60,000 unsecured for energy improvements, and that would include your home energy loan and energy improvement loan. We have some borrowers that take out a solar loan and then take out the home energy loan for their heat pumps, because they can get that 0% on the heat pumps, but pay the standard rates for the solar.
Gotcha. Great. Another question, can you refinance a loan rather than re-amortizing? I forgot how to say that, if interest rates drop substantially.
If you had a standard VSECU loan, we could look at refinancing the loan, but we do require additional funds. I don't see, especially right now, I don't see interest rates dropping. We are in a rate increasing environment right now, so I really don't see them dropping. As far as a home energy loan, we would not refinance that to change the term, because we've already contracted with Efficiency Vermont on that loan and that term.
Gotcha. Okay. Another question, it says, I have 3 types of items needed to be done. This might be kind of similar, but insulation, doors and windows, and heat pump. Can I roll that into one loan?
Yeah. That is honestly the type of project that we enjoy supporting all different types of projects, but especially if someone is looking to take on a really comprehensive project, that's something that we really appreciate, because these projects can get expensive. So it really does lower that upfront barrier of needing to have all that money in hand at the time that you're applying or that you're trying to take on the project. So certainly combined projects are absolutely eligible. And we totally applaud people for wanting to go deeper, because often it does result in much greater savings. The only caveat is that the kind of maximum loan amount for the home energy loan is $20,000, but that points back to what Lisa just explained, where someone could take on different loans if they need to kind of spill over that $20,000 cap.
Great.
And Lisa, I would welcome you adding to that if you have anything else to say on that topic.
You did an excellent job.
Thank you, Lisa.
I have another question. Will there be any impact on these loans / rebates from the Inflation Reduction Act, and when might that take effect?
It's a great question. I think it's a little too early to tell what it looks like in terms of the Inflation Reduction Act. Efficiency Vermont is keeping a very mindful eye on how conversations move. There are some resources available on the Public Service Department website talking about the Inflation Reduction Act at a high level. So I certainly encourage folks to hop over to that website if they're curious on specific details that are emerging at this point. But we don't necessarily have exact details on the Inflation Reduction Act in terms of the impacts on the home energy loan at this point. And I will actually turn it back over to Lisa in case there's anything to add from VSECU's standpoint.
Nope. I think you've hit it right on the head.
Great.
It's really exciting. We're all very excited about it, but a lot of details
Definitely.
still to emerge.
We have a question coming in. Are bank loan rates cast in stone or adjustable when rates increase?
Our rates on these loans are fixed rates. What you close at is what it will stay for the life of the loan.
Right. We are just getting, sorry, go ahead.
And I did want to say, because I'm kind of proud of it, our, for the longer terms of 10 and 15 years, the VGREEN rate is actually a little less than the home energy rate. So if you do apply for the home energy loan and you're over $90,000 total household income, we would actually, we would honor our lower 10 and 15 year rates.
Great.
That's one of the things that the lenders would work with you on to make sure you get into the best rate that you can.
Great. We are just getting some questions about if the chat will be saved and all these great links that have been posted. We will save it and we will send that around to attendees after the webinar. So do not worry and be copying and pasting all the links. We will send those to you. Someone asks, who do we talk to or get started on combined projects if you were to do kind of the insulation, windows, and all of those things?
Yeah, I would recommend going to Efficiency Vermont's Find a Pro tool. There you can filter for weatherization contractors and also cold climate heat pump contractors. I think sometimes, especially if you're doing a more comprehensive project, the energy audit is likely the entry point. So it may be the weatherization contractor who's able to kind of point you in the direction of the savings you would achieve with the weatherization and cold climate heat pump projects together. Oftentimes they work with cold climate heat pump installers, can really kind of bundle your project all in one. So certainly look at our Find a Pro tool and call our customer support if you're having any challenges and really kind of nailing down which contractor can best serve your needs. But that is definitely where I would start. It's a great idea, especially because if you're installing a cold climate heat pump without weatherization, you may be leaving money on the table if you're putting that heat out and you have a leaky home. So certainly those combined projects are really important. So I appreciate that question being asked. Always happy to talk about the benefits of combined projects.
Great. We do have some questions about contractors coming in. One person says that they're having trouble getting contractors to respond. What can be done about that?
Yeah, it's a question that we do receive from time to time, especially as there's an acknowledgement that in some areas there's more contractors than others, and contractors are also in a really busy period of time. So feel free to call our customer support to see if we can help kind of fine tune the list for you, or at least provide other options that we see available to you. Otherwise, I would just note to continue calling. I know that can feel frustrating, and you may not be getting a call back in the time frame that you hope or wish for, but we are aware that our contractor partners, who we are so appreciative of for participating, are very busy at this time. A lot of folks are kind of thinking about heating and heating costs and inflation. So things are quite busy right now. So thank you all for your patience as you continue to pursue your projects. And I just want to note that we are aware and also appreciative of how big our contractors' pipelines are right now. So just keep up the good work and continue to reach out to us. We're happy to help where we can.
Great. Someone asks, are all contractors eligible for loans?
Great question. So on our Find a Pro tool, there are the listings for both Efficiency Excellence Network contractors and also participating retailers, which is one of the qualifications for wood stoves. So you can filter your results based on who is offering the home energy loan. So it's not necessarily any contractor, it's the Efficiency Excellence Network contractors and participating retailers. So you will be able to find that on our Find a Pro tool. And someone who is from Efficiency Vermont, if you could kind of maybe paste in the chat what that looks like, just so that someone's given like that kind of visual cue of what to look for, I think that might be helpful. So calling on my peeps here. Thank
Great.
you.
We have another question coming in about contractors. Someone says, my HVAC contractor is interested in joining your program. How can they join it?
Oh, love it.
We need more contractors.
Please send along the name of your contractor. We are happy to connect with them. And I should mention that there are instances where someone is already working with someone or has someone in mind. And if they do find that that person is not on the Efficiency Excellence Network, we can have someone who's on our team to help walk them through what the details of our program are to get them enrolled, so you can potentially use them for your home energy loan project. So yeah, please always connect with us if you find that someone is not on the listing. We're really happy to have everyone join us. And oftentimes the requirements of joining are not all that onerous, and it just takes, someone walking them through. So yeah, please always reach out if that's what your circumstances. We're happy to help.
Great. We are getting some questions about home energy visits and energy audits. Someone says they saw something on our website, I'm assuming the Efficiency Vermont website, about phone or video for meeting with an energy auditor. Is this possible to have someone come in person? Maybe Robin, you could clarify a little bit about what our virtual home energy visits look like.
Yeah, so our virtual home energy visits are a high-level conversation with one of our energy consultants to identify energy-saving opportunities in your home. Right now, they are virtual just due to what our staff can do, and also in being mindful of the current situation with the pandemic. So we can't necessarily send someone to your house and physically look around, but what we can do is we can serve you either over the phone if your internet connectivity isn't so great, or we can have someone take a look at your home through a device, so either laptop or phone or tablet. You can take pictures. There's multiple ways that we can kind of take a look around without someone physically being present. If you are really interested in someone coming to your home and doing a deeper dive, an audit really is the option for you, or kind of a test-in or an assessment with one of our contractors. So you can go on the Find a Pro website, filter for results for folks that are available in your area, and make some calls to get someone to come out. So those are the kind of two prominent pathways right now. We did used to go in person, but unfortunately we just aren't able to do that in this current day and age.
There's some more questions about contractors really quickly. We'll get through those. What are the necessary qualifications required for contractors? Are these listed? And I think that's to be in the EEN network.
Yeah, it depends on what type of contractor you are. So the qualifications are a little bit different. If you're a cold climate heat pump contractor to a weatherization contractor. So certainly our supply chain folks can walk someone through that. So these are people that we have on staff who are specifically working with our partners who are out in the field. So there is a little bit different onboarding ramp for each different type of contractor. So I wouldn't want to try and go into the technical details of all of that right now. I can only say that if you have someone that you're working with and you want more details on what it could be for them, feel free to reach out to customer support, and we can get someone from our team to reach out to walk someone through those requirements.
Great. Someone asks, are these loans for primary residences only?
They are loans for owner-occupied residential structures. The home energy loan is. And if it is a secondary home, that still could be eligible depending on whether or not a person is renting that home for an extended period of time. But I'd say that primary residence is the main focus. Okay. And Lisa, feel free to talk through any details that you've seen, because I know that VSECU often sees a lot of the various and exciting types of housing we have out there.
We do. We see a lot of primary residences, and more recently we've seen a lot more homes that are being used as bed and breakfast. So, you know, it's definitely a juggling act to determine. And we work very closely with Robin. And like she said, I probably talk to her a couple times a day. Can this work or will that work? You know, and I have to say Efficiency Vermont is as flexible as they can possibly be. They're excellent to work with.
Thank you, Lisa. And I'll give a lot of credit to VSECU and to our other lending partners for always looking out for the customer. And we do have a lot of back and forth with everyone. We want to be as flexible as we can, and we want to acknowledge the different circumstances that exist. So if you do have a question, or if you have like kind of an interesting situation, do reach out to our customer support line. We're always happy to talk through with you what your unique circumstances and how we might be able to help. We certainly don't want to leave anyone out, so it's more so finding the best fit for you.
Great. We have some questions about what could qualify to be counted or included in the loan amount. So one person asks if an energy audit can be included in the loan amount.
Yes.
That's a eligible project cost under the home performance. Jinx, that's an eligible project cost under the home performance program. So anything that is an eligible cost under kind of the base program that you're trying to take out the loan for is included, and all of those requirements are on the project verification form. So if you have any questions about, you know, like, is this type of cold climate heat pump eligible, or what types of weatherization costs are eligible, we do have quite specific written information on that. So there are resources available. But thank you for that question. It's an important one.
Kind of in the same vein, someone asks what the range for a comprehensive energy audit, like the cost range would be for a comprehensive energy audit.
Yeah, so we're hearing lots of different points of feedback in the field right now, but I think it's reasonable to expect, and it really depends a lot on the size of the home and the extensiveness of the audit. So I think it could range anywhere from like $300 to $600. I know previously I've said $300 to $500. Would have gotten some feedback that might be on the lower range. So I'd say, yeah, 3 to 6 is reasonable. And again, that can be rolled into your total project cost. It can be financed. So you don't necessarily, there are different ways to kind of factor in that cost to your overall project.
Great. Someone asks, I feel like there's a word missing here, but what do you expect for tax benefits and interest rates in 2023 versus 2022 for the home energy loans?
I don't foresee the home energy loan interest rates changing. I don't think that we necessarily manage tax credits, so I don't necessarily have any additional information on that front. I'll leave it at that.
Someone says they're not seeing GMP in the info on scheduling a home audit. Do you want to clarify?
Yeah, so Efficiency Vermont is a statewide energy efficiency utility. So we essentially cover with our services that we've described today an area that encompasses everything outside of Vermont Gas Systems and Burlington Electric Department territory. So we do have programs that we collaborate with GMP on very closely, but you may not be seeing GMP in the audit information specifically because they are a customer base that we're covering under our weatherization program. So there are specific audits that, specific programs that GMP does provide incentives on, and so we do collaborate with them on some of those programs. So you just may see their information dispersed on our website a little differently. I hope I helped answer your question, but essentially I think you may need to visit the Efficiency Vermont website if you're interested in kind of a weatherization audit specifically.
Great. We have a question about heat pumps. When I had a recent virtual walkthrough of my house with Efficiency Vermont, it was mentioned that there will be some increase in rebates for heat pumps starting January 2023. Can you tell us more about that?
I cannot because it's not necessarily something that I am intimately involved with, but certainly I'm sure we can get you more information on that.
And I wonder if you join us next week for our next Weatherization Wednesday, which is all about heat pumps. That might be a question that you could be asking there as well. So hopefully you join us for that and can pose that question. Let's see, we have so many questions. So let me just take a look at the chat. Someone asks if you can use an out-of-state contractor for your project.
We do have a couple of contractors that are involved in our Efficiency Excellence Network that come from out of state. So certainly it is not prohibitive. Someone could be from out of state and still participate in our Efficiency Excellence Network. So really it's that as the key point of entry. So if you are interested in using an out-of-state contractor and you're noticing that they're not on our listing, totally encourage you to reach out to us and note who that is so that we can potentially help onboard them so that they can be part of our program. But no restrictions in terms of needing to physically have an address in Vermont.
Great. Let's see. I feel like some of these questions have already been answered, which is great. Someone asks, might these loans be any way impacted with the potential VSECU merger?
The loans should not be impacted if the merger goes through. There will be no change to any existing loan terms and conditions. So if you take out a loan with VSECU and we do end up merging with NEFCU on January 1st, that loan will just remain as part of the joint entity portfolio, just as is. So you shouldn't notice any change whatsoever.
Great. Not seeing too many more questions. I think some of them that are coming in have already been answered, which is great.
I think I see one from Marcy about upgrading an electrical panel.
Yes.
If that is,
Thank you.
and I will say that that is an eligible cost for the home energy loan, so long as it's tied to a cold climate heat pump installation. So, and as long as it doesn't exceed 50% of the total loan amount. So that would be an eligible health and safety cost that we would consider as part of your total loan amount.
Great. I am seeing another question asking, can an audit be financed after the audit is completed?
Yeah, I don't see why not. It could be counted as part of your total weatherization project cost. And that might be something that you want to discuss with your contractor of, I'm interested in a project and I'm interested in this energy audit and I would love to finance, and that's part of what you can discuss with them as part of your specific needs.
Great. Someone asks, what about the look back on income? Is it for the year applied?
Lisa, over to you.
We would be looking at current income. So the first thing we ask for is recent pay stubs. We look at year-to-date figures. We look at how long you've been at your job, whether you're 40 hours a week. If you're self-employed, we would ask for prior year tax returns. But for the most part, if you are a W-2 employee, we're looking at recent pay stubs.
Great. Someone's asking about EV. Are EV, I think, electric bikes sales, both online and local retail? What are the rules or limitations on bike sale loans? I might have read that wrong.
Efficiency Vermont doesn't necessarily have any loan products yet for efficient or electric transportation. But I know that Lisa had this as part of her presentation, so I'm hoping she might be able to talk to what VSECU can provide.
We do our standard energy improvement loan for e-bikes, anywhere from 2 years to, I'm looking at thinking EV bike, or shouldn't be that large of a loan. So I wouldn't imagine you'd want to go more than like 5 years. But we do have other terms available. We do them as an unsecured energy improvement loan, and offer our discounted rates for those products. We basically require a copy of the purchase order, invoice, bill of sale, and if possible, we do checks payable. If it's sometimes internet purchases, can't be checks payable, but if you purchase it and then you have put it on a credit card, we'll pay off that credit card. We really work with you to do what's in your best interest.
Great. Bob is asking, are there any grants or help in getting my EV charger installed in my apartment building? My landlord is agreeable, but I have to pay for it.
I saw an answer from Efficiency Vermont that covers EVs and e-bikes, but I don't necessarily know anything specific about grants or financing for that kind of situation. So it might be another one where Lisa can help fill in the gaps if you have anything to add.
Really, the only thing that I would be able to add is we do know that a lot of the utilities, Green Mountain Power, depending on where you get your electricity from, offer different programs where either they'll give you a charger, or I think you have to have it installed. But if you purchase an EV car and verify it, and it's going to be, coming from your home, they'll provide you with I think it's a level 2 charger. So they might want to check with their utility company to see what is available out there.
Great. Have another question coming in from Kate. The answer regarding the income look back was for those employed. What about if you are a retiree? How much does retirement investment income impact the income if it is below the 90,000 in 2022, but above in 2021 due to the hit in the market?
What we would do would be looking at the Social Security retirement income, what that is on a monthly basis. We would look at the tax return, not so much for the total value of the 401k or whatever, but how much you take out of it. That's what we have to use as income. What do you take out of that retirement account to pay your monthly bills?
Okay, great. Some people want to know more about audits and if you can have another audit done. Let's say you had an audit done 12 to 15 years ago. Could you get another one? And could multiple audits and estimates be covered with the loan?
That is a great question. I definitely think if you've had an audit done 12 to 15 years ago, it's likely best to have another one done so that you have a little bit more of an accurate picture of what your current home profile looks like. Things may have changed if you've done a little bit of work here and there, or if things have shifted with how your house is settled. So there's lots of different factors that could go into what might change in a 15-year period. In terms of getting audits from multiple contractors, I think it really depends on what you settle with your contractor that you're looking to pursue the home energy loan with. If you are in that situation, I would just encourage you to reach out to us first to get a clearer picture of what you're thinking about. And maybe we could make some adjustments if need be, if that's important for you to move forward with your project. But it's not necessarily something that we see typically covered. So yeah, feel free to reach out to us and we're happy to talk through that specific circumstance further.
Great. Well, it looks like we have 2 minutes left, so I feel like we should wrap up. I just want to thank everyone so much for joining, and we hope you will join us for the final Weatherization Wednesday next Wednesday at noon, where we'll be talking about heat pumps. So some of your heat pump questions could be asked there as well. Robin or Lisa, do you have any kind of final words you want to say in the next 2 minutes before we wrap up?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to VSECU and to all of our home energy loan partners who work with us in this space. We absolutely would not be able to do it without them. We're so grateful for all that they do for the customers who participate. I really just can't speak highly enough of how excellent they are. And also a huge thank you to our contractor network who also diligently are serving customers every single day out there. Again, this work would not be possible without them, and we are so grateful for their partnership. And thank you all for joining us today. This was an excellent conversation and we hope to see you again.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Not evening, afternoon.
Afternoon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.